Bobby Maximus here in my favorite place on the planet lately, the sauna. A lot of you have asked why I'm in here so much. There's a real simple answer. It makes me better at every single thing that I do. And here's what I want to talk to you about today. It's about being the best. It's about being a winner. It's about accomplishing your goals. I'm sick and tired of people whining and complaining how they don't have time, how they don't have the right genetics, how other people are on drugs, how they have a poor metabolism, how they don't have the proper equipment. There's always an excuse. And honestly, like I said, I'm sick and tired of it. If you want to be the best, you have to put in the work every damn day. And it's not just work inside the gym. It's work doing recovery. It's work sleeping. It's work eating the right type of food. It's constant paying attention to your end goal. Now, when it comes to this stuff, I'm going to give you a little history lesson. Now, when I wrestled, I was terrible when I started. I lost every single match. How did I get better? It wasn't showing up 3 times a week for 15 minutes. It wasn't hanging out with my friends on the weekends. It wasn't going on dates. It was putting my nose to the grindstone and getting my ass to work. I was in the weight room every day. I practiced every day. I studied wrestling when I was at home. I didn't go out on the weekends. I made sure I got enough sleep. I made sure I ate the right type of food, or at least at the time what I thought was the right type of food. The point is, I was doing everything I could to be better. And you know what? I got pretty damn good, to the point where I went on to be a very accomplished university wrestler. After my university career, I got into the world of ultimate fighting. I was lucky enough to be coached by some of the best coaches in the world. One who's not with us anymore, Sean Tompkins, who's one of the greatest of all time and founded Team Tompkins. Another one named Shaw Franco. And what both those men taught me was that if I wanted to be the best, if I wanted to be at my potential, the best version of me that I could be, that I had to pay attention 100% of the time. I will never forget with Shaw Franco, for example. He asked me what I was doing for Christmas, and I said, nothing, going to my grandma's in the afternoon. He said, well, we're training Christmas morning. You insane? I said, who trains Christmas morning? He goes, you, if you want to be the best. He goes, let me tell you something, kid. When you're in that cage lying on your back and you're getting beaten on, Santa Claus ain't gonna fucking help you. I was like, okay. So I showed up, we trained Christmas morning, because that's what it took. And you can call me obsessed, you can call me crazy, you can say all kinds of other negative shit, but the fact of the matter is, I just was that driven. And you know what? I had a great fighting career because of that attitude. So what I'm here to tell you is that if you want to be the best, if you want to achieve your goals, if you want to be the best version of you that you can be, you have to make the same kind of sacrifices. You can't be the person that sits around and makes excuses. The woe is me bullshit that the society is plagued with. So here's the deal. Somewhere along the line, I got involved with the wrong people, and I had a very, very, very stressful job. Got out of it about a year ago, and now here I am. Battled a life-threatening illness, but I've come out on top of it, and at 40 years old, I'm in the best shape I've been in years, probably since when I was at the peak of my fight career. And people want to know how I'm doing it. Well, I'm going to tell you the secret. First of all, you got to show up and you got to train every day. You can't miss training because of your kids. You can't miss training because it's your anniversary. You can't miss training because it's a holiday like Memorial Day or July the 4th or Labor Day. You've got to show up every damn day and put in the effort. That's number one. Number two, you got to eat right. And eating right, it's a relative term. Diet needs to be individualized. After I had my stomach illness, I went through a whole process of figuring out what foods worked for me and what didn't. Took a long time. You're going to have to figure it out. It's not easy. As a starting point, you could use a service like Viome. That's what I used. You can check them out on Instagram at myviome. And that's what I used to get the starting point, but I still wasn't done there. There was still a ton of work. But you know what? I put in the work because I cared and I figured it out. The final piece to the puzzle is recovery. And recovery, I'm going to break into 2 separate parts. The first part of it is stress relief and sleep. You need 8 to 9 hours of sleep in a fully dark environment. There's no way around it. I'm not going to waste your time with all the science. You're going to have to trust me on it. But it really, really works. The best anabolic in the world is just an hour of sleep extra a night. Then we got stress relief. Listen, I spent a lot of years in my old job stressed out around the wrong type of people in a toxic environment. No more. I am ruthless with my stress relief. I don't let anything stress me out these days. I have a good attitude towards stress, a healthy relationship with with stress. Now, when I say I don't let anything stress me out, that's an exaggeration. There are some things in life that are going to stress you out. If your kid's sick, if you're having financial problems, you're having problems with your wife, like, I get it, but you got to get rid of all the self-imposed stress. And the first thing is make a list of all the toxic people and cut them out of your life. Second, learn how to control the narrative in an argument. You don't have to be in an argument. Someone doesn't make you feel anything. You make yourself feel something. So control how you react to certain situations. And three, make some efforts to de-stress during the day. Meditate, walk, relax, clear your mind. These are all things that I am doing. The other side of that is recovery. And so now back to this sauna. Why does this work so well? Well, it increases my testosterone, my human growth hormone, my endorphins. It's my meditation time. It increases heat shock proteins, which help my muscles rebuild. It's great for recovery. So yeah, am I in here twice a day a lot of days? Hell yes. Am I in Normatec recovery boots, which are great? Hell yes. Do I go for walks? Yes. Do I meditate? Yes. Do I put my phone away and try to reduce my screen time? Yes. Do I foam roll? Yes. I'm doing all these things because I want to be the best. There's a bunch of people out there that are accusing me of cheating. They're accusing me of having good genetics. Listen, I do not come from good genetics, and anyone that I grew up with can attest to that. I did not make any sports team growing up. I was a nerd. I was picked on. I was bullied. My parents were athletic. In fact, my dad died of a heart attack when he was 49 years old. That was 20 years ago, and I miss him dearly. But I didn't come from some supreme athletic genetic stock. This is a 100% product of hard work every day. So the point of this whole thing, if you're watching this and you're making excuses, stop making excuses. If you're blaming others, stop blaming others and blame yourself. Are you willing to do the work? So at the end of the day, if you tell your spouse or your loved ones or your friends that you don't have time to train because you were busy that day, check yourself. What were you busy doing? Because I am sick and tired of these people that say, oh, I had to watch my kids all day. Boo-hoo. I had to clean the house. What did that take? 2 hours? Boo-hoo. I had to run errands. What did errands take you? 16 hours? You can make any excuse you want, but the bottom line is if you're not successful, if you're not where you want to be, if you're not where you need to be, it's 100% on you. It's because you're not fucking dedicated. You've got to put the work in and stop whining. This also isn't limited to working out because I want this to be about life as well. If you're not a good enough parent, it's because you don't put in the time. If your marriage is falling apart, it's because you don't put in the time. If you're mad at somebody else because they got a promotion and you didn't, guess what? It's because they put in the time and you didn't. So stop making excuses. I am just sick and tired of it. And I'm doing this in the spirit of helping you. And yes, I'm ranting. And yes, I'm coming off as aggressive. But that is purposeful. I want you guys to be the very best that you can be. And to do that, you're going to have full 100% accountability. There's no, I tried. You do it or you don't. There's no, I don't have time. You make time because you'll always make time for the stuff that's important. There's no, I don't know what to do. There's tons of Instagram channels. Men's Health is a great resource for people. People's websites are a great resource for people. You can read some books if you want to learn. But really, there's no excuse. So any of those excuses you're throwing out, get rid of them. So here's your thing after you watch that video. I want you to do a personal audit of your life. I want you to establish some goals or think about some goals you haven't achieved in the past. I want you to figure out really why you haven't attained them. And let's look at things like your commitment because that's what it stems for. Then I want you to make a list of things that you can do better to be more committed. And if you can do that and you can stick to that list, you will see how easy those goals fall into place. As of this moment in your life, there's no more excuses, whining, crying, any of that bullshit. You're just 100% dedicated to succeeding. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon.